How you doing? Fix that. This is Bob here, the Odin's Lock. Kind of want to talk about something I come across on some of the different YouTube channels where they show locks. Whether they're picking them or reviewing them. And we talk. Every now and then you see in the comments someone say, "Well, that lock's a piece of junk" or something. So I just kind of wanted to talk about, when we talk about the designs of different locks. A lot of people tend to kick on the smart key technologies, the Kwikset uses for their KW1 and SC1 keyways. And it's, the first few generations of Kwikset smart key was kind of easily forced open. And it's one of those things that they've improved quite a bit as far as, whether to withstand the force tool or the bypass tool. But they're still, and I believe now they're harder to do. I think someone here a while back said they tried to wrench one open, it didn't work. It broke the key blank. They used a heavy-duty key blank in there, and they were not able to get it open that way. They messed up the keyway too, trying to get it back out. But anyways, they're when I look at a lock, I look at how lightweight it is. The materials will it withstand a hammer attack, someone beating the tar out of it. A lot of times, your deadbolts will have the ring that goes inside that kind of connects the outer rows to the inner part of the hole. That kind of helps secure it on there. You want that ring in there because when they hit it holds it inside the door if it's a solid. It's usually about a little less than a 1/4 inch lip that goes inside. There are some cheaper locks that they just kind of sit over the outside, and when you get them real tight, they kind of center, but there's not much of a lip that holds them in, and so you can hammer them down. And it'll cause them to loosen up because they're cheap. The screws will break out the back of the cylinder. But I wanted to, grade 1 is always a better lock. It'll withstand, I think they say, up to 800 strikes or 800 cycles. Of using it as under normal circumstances. It'll withstand up to 5 hammer strikes. Stuff like that. They're usually better pinned. The biddings. I always look at a bidding on a key to make sure that it's high, low, high, low, high, low. I don't like ascending, descending key bidding on a key, but when you get into like Kwikset, I tend to like the smart key. I've not had a whole lot of luck. I've picked them before, but I've not had a whole lot of luck consistently picking them. And so I had to buy the tool because I just don't want to rely on my picking skills when it's raining out and it's cold like it has been lately. I go on ahead and I bought they had the AccuReader, so I was able to read the sliders in there. But a burglar is not going to use that. And grade 2 is better than grade 3, of course. Grade 1 is the best. Grade 2's, it's better, than grade 3. Grade 3 is the bottom line. And they even get into where they don't even put a grade on them anymore on some of the imports. But you should always look for the grade 2 or grade 3. If you got a closet, you just want to put a lock on. Grade 3 is fine, if you're already inside the building. But most of the internal doors of a residence are not solid wood, so they're not going to withstand no matter what grade. If someone kicks it in, the door's going to collapse. On a solid wood door, grade 3, grade 1 may function about the same as far as kicking a door because you're just talking about the deadbolt. You also want to make sure it's dead latching. This one here is a Kwikset, and it's dead latching, but this here is Schleg, and it's it is dead latching, but I've had some of these where you check them, they're not dead latching. But I always measure inside the hole of the cutout in the door jamb, so I'll double check to make sure that when the deadbolt goes in, it's all the way extended. Because if it's just slightly not extended, someone can push it. They'll put something underneath here and they'll inch it back. Where they'll just kind of slowly with scissors or a butter knife or just anything, they'll just slowly inch it back. This one here is actually got a pretty good spring where it shoots it forward. No matter what, it's kind of hard to even get at that point. But anyways, my point is grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Grade 1's better, grade 2's okay. Grade 3, I mean, it's better than nothing. But the biggest part of this is when we talk about grade, it's the quality of the lock. It's if it's going to last, a certain amount of time under certain conditions. 200 cycles, 400 cycles, or 800 cycles. For 200,000, 400,000, or 800,000 cycles. That's your grades, pretty much. And it's I don't know word for word, but grade one's always going to be better, and it's more institution, commercial, residential. They'll do deadbolts, and I always look for the grade one deadbolts. Hard to find a grade one knob. Most knobs, the best you get is grade two. Master has them, I think, grade two. Master lock, their residential, commercial hardware. A grade three in some applications is as good as a grade two of other brands. They just don't pay to have that extra testing, on their cycles. That's what their salesman has told us. But I just kind of wanted to bring that up. When it comes to picking a lock, most burglars opt to use blunt force, or they find another path into a residence. I think it's like less than 2% of all burglars have been able to pick a lock, or will pick a lock. It's just not worth the time when they need in. They're not going to waste time. If it takes 5-10 minutes to pick a lock, they need in. Most burglaries happen in 8 to 10 minutes. They're done. And so they don't really take the time. They'll look for the easiest route. And I hate to say it, but when you look at the statistics, I think it's like 35 to 45% of most robberies happen because they just went up and they was able to open the door. That's it. That's all they did. They just opened the door. It wasn't locked. And so if you're worried about your property, always keep your property locked. That's where you get into the electronic hardware where it automatically relocks. And I like deadbolts, and they have the push button doorknobs too, where they're automatically relocking. Better to have those, and even better if they have a power bolt, and then they'll actually throw the bolt, if it's a deadbolt, because even the Schlag, it'll relock, but you still got to throw the bolt for it to relock. Where there's some quick sets like that too, but most of the ones, if you get a power bolt, but you just got to make sure your door frame's set up right so it's not going to drag or hit, because sometimes they'll time out or fault out. But like 35 to 45%, I believe, is the statistic on how many people actually have been burglarized through someone just opening a door. That's almost number one. That's more than a quarter, less than a half. But other times as the garage door's open, or maybe they can Lloyd the garage door. Lloyd, they can fish the rope from the garage door opener. Sometimes they can pry the door. So you want to make sure your door fits up nice and tight. But as far as when you see comments talking about when someone does a review on a lock, you'll see in the comments, "Oh, that lock's junk. I don't like it. It's a piece of junk. That brand sucks." Even the foreign imports, Elamake. I think I did a little micro review of one of their knobs. Unless you know the intricacies on how to get in and out of those things, you've studied them. Any one of these locks is easily bypassed. Bump key, pick. You can get restricted keyways. You can get a Medico. Spend a lot of money, on a Medicos, and you're not gonna be able to pick and bump, but the only benefit on the Medico, it is grade one, but there's also someone's not out there copying your keys because it's a restricted keyway. But there's ways to make this so you can't copy it either. And we used to have an old guy here in town. He used to shave the bottom off. He'd cut the key for a customer, and he'd take 2 big swipes with a heavy file, like a bastard double cut, and just 2 swipes. And then the next guy that wanted to rekey that, when they put it in their vise, it was 100 thousandths off, or 120 thousandths off. You just don't want to go into the milling part right here. But even if you did, the milling itself will kind of keep it. It'll keep it in like it's supposed to. And when you try to put in the jaws of a key duplicator at a hardware store, even one of these key machines, I think it'll cut them too short, so that when you cut it, the stack will be too high. But there's ways. They got the latch guards that you put on the back of the deadbolts too, and they work. But when I think a lock is junk, I'm looking at the quality of the hardware is inferior. Like, it's just not going to hold up. Like, you know, the finish is going to come right off. And, you know, bright brass, it's pretty common, but sometimes it starts, the sun scours the hell out of it, you know, where it's dark and it looks ugly. A lot of people like the darker, you know, aged bronze look. You know, knobs, sometimes, you know, you can rip the knobs off. So you got to look at the quality of the hardware. But I'm telling you, these will all do the job. Grade 1, 2, and 3 will all do the job to a simple person walking and trying to break in your house. The biggest deterrent to theft on your property is the security system. It's cameras. You want to deter. You don't want them to even consider it. In fact, the more people think that there's a security system, the less likely they are to try to break into it. And then, you know, once you're inside a home, keep what you have in content-wise, like your cabinets, medicine cabinets, keep that stuff. Keep your medicine stored away. Don't keep things that look nice and pricey out in view. So if you have company, to me, I think a lot of people, there's a statistic too about how many times that someone's been ripped off. It's almost always someone that knows them. You know, 65%, I believe, is most you'll be ripped off by someone that you know. So, family, friends, kids, parents, whatever. But you know, statistically speaking, you know, it's just the world we're in, and I think it looks like crime's on the rise because you know you see all these statistics and you see it on the news or in the media and all that. Someone else got broken into. But I think when you look at the statistic and the rate of crime, we've doubled in population in the U.S., I think, in the last 40, 50 years, maybe more than that now. So statistically speaking, yeah, it looks like there's a more volume of people committing crimes, but percentage-wise, I think it's actually declined. So, you know, take it for how you want. Do your research. You know, you can look it up. And I just did simple research. I'll put some links on here. ADT has pretty good statistics. They use it because it helps them make money. You know, selling alarms. You know, your cable providers for your homes. They have you know, a lot of them will. You know, they can sell you their own alarm systems. But I'm saying, you know, this keeps honest people honest, and I like it as a deterrent because if they do walk into my house and it's locked, you know, automatically right off the bat they'll just move on to the more lower hanging fruit. But you know, especially, you know, even if it looks like grade 3, most burglars can't tell a grade 1, 2, or 3 just by looking at it. You know, me, I look at the bolts. I look at the hardware inside. No plastic, everything. It feels solid. You know, almost always Schlag is grade 2, grade 1, unless it's if it says Schlag, it's going to be grade 2, grade 1. I don't hardly ever see I don't know if they have a Schlag grade 3, unless it's a knockoff and usually SC1 keyway. But Kwikset does do grade 3, and it's not because of the keyway. It's because of the rest of the hardware. You know, the Kwikset Smart Key is harder to pick, and you can't bump it because it doesn't work on the same principle as a pin tumbler lock. So there's that. And Kwikset Smart Key has KW1 and SC1, so you can mix and match, you know, on your home. But you know, if you want to spend a lot of money on a great lock, then great. You know, locksmiths usually have better hardware than what you'll find at the big box store. But we're limited in what you can find decorative-wise. So, like, I can find you a knob that's a tulip style or a ball knob all day long, and with different vendors, suppliers, different price ranges. But as far as when you get into the decorative stuff, I mean, I'm limited because it's locksmith grade. We're going for grade 2, grade 1, grade 3. I don't deal with that much. But anyway, I just want to talk about that. You know, hardware quality. Grade 1 is the best. Grade 2 is okay. Grade 3 is better than nothing, but it's more about the cycles of how much it'll handle. Grade 3 it's supposed to be able to take 2 hammer attacks and 200,000 cycles of use, and there's other things that go into this stuff too, and you know, some of these locks could be grade 2, but they don't pay that much to have them graded because grade 3 they can sell cheaper at a grade 3, but and Masters are notorious for that. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, you know, that's how they do it. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I've already recorded this. I'm like burned out. My voice is about out now. from doing this, but my GoPro sucks and it wouldn't even download the video onto my phone. So I thought, well, I'll just sit here and do this again. And there are a whole lot of other methods you can do to protect your door. So the lock is just one part of your system. There's a whole lot of other parts of your system. The door jamb, the frame, the hinges, the garage door, making sure that rope is tied up so no one can fish it. The door strike reinforcers on your jamb. The sliding glass doors, you have locks that lock the door so they can't like try to lift it up out of the track. There's all kinds of things you can do to reinforce your home. If you don't want to go with the alarm system, which has a monthly recurring payment thing, but chances are, if you got a window in your home, if they want in, they're going to break a window. They'll get in one way or another. So if anything, you can slow them down. But as far as saying a lock's a piece of junk, if it works and it passes the test to get a grade 1, 2, or 3, then it's a decent lock. Even at grade 3, there's a lot of decent locks. They just don't have the testing past the certain amount to get the next grade usually. And grade 1's always better than 2 and 3. So probably repeat myself 100 times by now. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hang in there. Hope everyone stays warm. If I don't have another video before the New Year's, Happy New Year's. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Get a designated driver or whatever. Take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Can I speak to the manager, please?
Huh?
Can I speak to the manager, please?
Yes. I'm sorry. Let me go get it.
Okay.
Did you order?
Yes, I already got my order.
Okay.
You're the manager?
How may I help you?
Are you aware of the class action lawsuit against Burger King?
That's above me. My managers may know about it.
Okay, well, you guys are being sued for false advertisement. In other words, you guys have been saying that the Whopper is 35% bigger than it actually is in person.
Oh, okay.
So I'm here to settle out of court, if you will. I'll settle for a few free Whoppers, if you could.
Oh, no, not at all.
So you're not willing to settle outside of court?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go to court and be awarded hundreds of thousands of Whoppers.
I'm pretty sure Big King has it.
Well, I'm going to own Burger King, and I'll be wearing the crown.
That's fine.
You're fine with that?
Yeah. Would you like a crown now?
I'll take a crown, please.
Sure. Give him a crown. Good luck with your lawsuit.
Thank you.
Yep.